Speaking of which, getting ready to go, I'm going to step over the line here so I don't trip. Let's take a look at this 503. Now, this one is understored. I know this car because I brought it for the collection here in the United States. We had it on display in Zenstrom. You've seen it there for years. It had some mechanical restoration by a fire alarm in Germany years ago. The engine was missing the last time. I mean, not the engine was missing. It was misfired the last time I recall it being started. I think that it's since been fixed. But when you look at it, it's been repainted at one point. The interior, though, while not in shambles, is pretty rough. The pot metal is missing, the bumper is very cloudy. What would it take to bring a car like this to where it would look like the 503 Cabrio over there, Don?
Well, that's an interesting question because I'm doing one right now.
Really? A 503?
A 503 Coupe that I had the request to find a car and restore it to this kind of condition. And I spent about a year and a half hunting for a good donor, something like this. Couldn't find the car, and then with help from BMW Munich, they got the Coupe that originally a man bought, had 18 years, gave it to his 16-year-old son as a birthday present, and he decided he wanted to make a custom car, and he cut the roof off to do a convertible, got 2 holes in the side behind the seat cover, or some kind of hydraulic system which didn't work, and had cut the front end off from about this area on the driver's side over to about here, leaving this original. The idea being he was apparently going to do some kind of custom front end. Obviously it didn't work. He quit the project. It got sold to a BMW collector and sat for 30 years. And then they sold it to BMW Munich. And then I bought it. And we remade, there were 3 503 Coupes that had damage in the front. The 2-tone rain car that's in the BMW Classic exhibit,
Right.
they had rented out. It came back, they serviced it, they didn't check the level of brake fluid when they took it out for a test drive and drove it under a semi. And so we hired a guy to build a new wooden buck for the front end. All 3 of us shared the cost of that. And then each of the 3 cars were repaired. We laser measured the Coupe at BMW Classic in Munich to get the right dimensions for the roof so that we could put the windshield and glass back in and it would fit. And then we reattached the top. Then the car came back to Stoll, and we're building it now.
Wow. So I've been very critical of the state of this car, but compared to what you described, this one's almost in mint condition.
Well, this is a tough car to talk about restoring because it is what I call a borderline car. This is a car that for someone who wants a weekend special, this is a super car for just that.
Well, I'm glad you told me that because part of this car's story that you probably don't know. When I brought this thing from Germany specifically to put it on display in Zenstrom, I had one hell of a fight with one of my colleagues at BMW North America who wanted to take it to Baja, California and use it as a Baja racer in the desert flats there, which of course would have destroyed the car. It was in this condition when it came here, so we fought over that for a good couple of years, as you can see. I won that fight. But we never did get the restoration done, unfortunately, and that was the result at the time.
Well,
so I'm glad to hear you say what you did.
I don't know that I'd want to restore this car. I think this car is too good to start with. If it's the only donor you can find at the time, and that's always an issue. When someone wants a restoration, nobody's got patience to wait, and they want the car worked on and built right away. so that's always a factor. This is a rough interior. It's got great patina. Somebody's going to love this car just the way it is. Somebody else is going to think it's trash, and they want a new interior. To me, I don't care for the two-tone paint, but I recognize this was indeed a factory option, and so this car is very, very correct and probably unique because of that.
You use the term, by the way, waiting for a donor or looking for a donor. I mean, you make it sound like a lung transplant or a kidney or a heart or something like that. When you're waiting for a donor, I'm assuming it's obviously, yes, the vehicle has to be there, but it has to be somebody that wants a restoration. I'm assuming you're not doing these things out of the kindness of your heart.
No, no.
You're a very kind gentleman, and I readily admit that.
Well, this is probably the best job I've ever had. I mean, I spent 36 years in lithography color printing, and that was a hugely competitive business with a lot of stress and a very small percentage of profit for a huge outlay of capital. The story in BMWs is totally the opposite. It has no stress. I have awesome customers, and you need to keep in mind, or maybe it's best that I tell you, that we probably have 20 projects right now. We can build 6 to 8 at a time. Each car gets a tech who's real familiar with that model assigned to it, and he's the lead builder. There are other times that other people will assist him, but it's basically his job. When the spot opens, then another car goes in. And that's kind of how we run it. It generally takes 9 to 12 months if we can work on one car consistently.
Okay.
Most of the time I tell people now it's a year and a half. We run into parts problems with the virus. We're not getting shipments from Germany like we'd like. They're not coming fast enough. And so we had to change how we function a little bit, but not severely.
Wow, that's great. Because you referenced 2 years, and I was wondering, let's walk this way, by the way. I was wondering if that is the typical time, but you're